Hey, wake up, world. It's time for a little bit of coffee.
Rise and grind, it's that time. Morning sun, coffee chime. Three small folks, one average bro. Tune in now, let's start the show. Tiny crew, big dreams, brewing thoughts, vivid schemes. Sipping on that morning brew. Got that energy, how about you? Little bit of coffee, little bit of fun. Kicking off the day, everybody come. Perk up your ears, hear the latest buzz. Grab your mug, join the morning fuss. Short in size, tall in spirit. Every topic, yeah, we near it. Laughter news, we got the flow. Press play and let it go. Little bit of coffee, little bit of fun. Kicking off the day, everybody come. Perk up your ears, hear the latest buzz. Grab your mug, join the morning fuss. Morning thoughts.
So grab your Joe and let's go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Oh, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good
What
morning.
is
Good morning.
going on?
top of the morning.
Hey.
This is Little Bit of Coffee, and I am your host, P.O.D. Welcome to our taking the mundane out of your boring Monday morning. So, first off, man, we got to go around. We got to introduce the Brew Crew. First coming in, he says he's the world's tallest little guy. He comes in at 4'11.99999. Makes some noise for Mr. Phoenix. I don't hear any noise. And coming in next, we got, he is the father of the group. We call him DJ Pappy.
Hey.
4'2".
Hey. Good morning.
And then finishing out the crew, the Brew Crew. He's the 4'9". He's also one of our DJs on the side. Make some noise for Shortcut. All right. Now, get us all up there normal. Looking normal again. So good morning, guys.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Everybody have a good week this last week? Everybody doing good?
Everyone's
Great.
doing nice.
Doing excellent.
Good. Well, normally we kick it off kind of us all talking about our last week. And I think this week we're just going to kind of keep it on topics that need to be discussed. So, Jeremy, Mr. Phoenix has got an event coming up later this year, and we want to get it out there and get it promoted a little bit. Phoenix, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the event is called Micro Apocalyptic Madness. Complete craziness. We've mixed and tried to combine different styles of festivals and trying to turn it into one. The really good and positive thing about this is that it's adults and kids having fun, raising money for Stop Bullying Now Foundation in Florida.
Nice.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
When is the event again?
It's going to be October 10th, 11th, and 12th in Brooksville, Florida at Florida Classic Park.
I can't wait. That's
Yes,
getting
that
awesome.
sounds like a
That
great
is going to
event.
be our ring announcer for our wrestling that we're going to be doing.
Awesome, Jeff.
I'm
What's
trying to
some,
learn everybody now, so I get it. I do a good job when I'm there. I want to make everybody look good.
I won't need your announcing to
Help.
make me look good.
Help them make good. Not that they need my help, but I want to be a part of. Yeah.
He wants to shine, baby.
I would
Yeah,
shine,
man.
baby.
I'm not gonna need his help to look good.
Shine like
POD, POD, we can't find enough man cream to make you look good.
man cream.
Was
Oh,
uncalled
dude.
for. So who's some names you got coming to this event, Jeremy?
Well, we've got the Warrior Chief Suma, who has actually wrestled Mr. Pondo that we had.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Pondo. That's the first time he's heard that one.
Yeah, he's wrestled Mr. Pondo in death matches. Our Sunday, we are going to do a mild death match because we're not going to go full blown with all of it, because I've seen some of the stuff that they do and it's pretty brutal.
Gruesome.
Okay.
So now I know that you have the Spider MX company involved with the with our group here. Will they be involved in this event as well?
No, they're not going to be involved with this show. They're
I see.
they're a really good company to teach you on riding BMX or motocross and everything else, and then they have a lot of races. So a lot of your professional races actually come to their track.
Oh, nice.
So
Excellent.
but I mean, we're going to
great
have
event.
a lot of different bands. Friday is going to be October 10th. It's going to be country rap and hip hop, and then we're going to go with our wrestling. Saturday is going to be rock and metal, and then going into Mr. Harley in his wonderful Midgets with Attitude. Then
Midgets with Attitude. Harley Anderson. What a
Mr. Harley
great
Ray.
guy.
Alley there, POD.
And then Sunday we're gonna have cover and tribute
Not
bands.
anymore. It's not. I'm old.
We all.
Well, that's awesome. What are the ticket prices going for?
Well, they're kind of up and down because we've got camping, we've got tent camping, we got tent camping with power. So if you have to glamp a little and have a fan or need to charge your cell phone or something, you got a little bit of power there. And then we have RVs.
Only way to camp.
Huh?
That is the only way to camp.
Oh,
you must have power. Must
no,
have AC.
you can't rough
I
it.
have to have coffee. That is roughing it.
Oh my God, we've got RV spots. We've got probably about, I think, 200 left. 200 RV spots left.
What's the expected amount of people coming?
I'm hoping. I don't know exactly. Right now, it's still a little early, but we're pushing it and trying to make it go because we want to raise enough money for Stop Bullying Now.
Oh, that's a great cause.
Phoenix has been involved in that since I've known him. Actually, very active in any kind of bullying campaign. It's just nice to see that he continues striving to make something into that.
Yeah.
Now, once again, the event is in October. Shoot the date. Set us again.
The dates are 10th, 11th, and 12th in Brooksville, Florida.
Brooksville, Florida, which is a suburb of.
It's kind of in the middle, really. I mean, it's
what's the biggest city it's close to?
Well, Tampa would be about an hour away, hour and a half away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we'd have to have an intervention between Benny and POD about the bullying, because they bully each other all the time.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could definitely not represent the show. That's for sure. We could not represent a bully show. They'd be like, "What?" But for the record, usually I start out as an angel with Benny. He's usually the one that starts it.
Okay.
And
here to defend himself.
Yeah.
And we got nobody chiming in on our fan board this morning. Anybody out there awake, or they need another cup of coffee?
Morning, everybody. Come on in.
So
everybody's welcome, definitely, to come to the show. So
yes.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Sounds like an excellent event. I think we should take a commercial break, and if you wouldn't care, we're gonna do a dual commercial break on this one. We'll play a commercial for the Apocalyptic War, and we'll be back in just a moment, and then we'll go into our. Well, on today's show, let's just talk about that real quick. On today's show, we got coming up One Man Kru. We're going to interview him about. He is an actor. He's an actor. He does a lot of independent movie. He is a professional wrestler, been all over the world, Japan, all over America, Mexico, just everywhere. And what just a great guy. I'm really looking forward to doing this interview. So we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, we're gonna have One Man Crew. All right. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome.
Man, I am excited about today's guest. We been trying to buckle this guy down for quite some time, and finally, one of our producers was able to lock him down. This guy is in independent movies. He did some what do you call him, background character acts in Hawaii Five-O. He's also done pro wrestling, as well as he's a rap artist. So it's been kind of hard to buckle down because if he's not in the studio, he's out getting beat up in the wrestling ring. If he's not in the wrestling ring, then he's trying to make appearances on movies. So, all right. So make some noise for the one and only One Man Crew.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Grab your Joe and let's go.
Yeah. Let's get him.
Good to have you, buddy. Good to have you. Man, first, welcome to the show. Meet our guest. We got Pappy in the house. We got Shortcut in the house.
What's up?
Pleasure to meet you guys.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Pleasure to meet you. Right out the gate, man. I see that we have Jerry Springer in common. You also did a Jerry Springer show.
Sure did.
Do you remember any of the people you met back there behind the scenes? Like name comes to my head right off the top of my head was the producer Toby Yoshimura. Did you ever meet him?
I don't believe I did. My memories, it was so long ago. God, it was.
Oh, me too.
I'd have to say probably 17 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time for myself.
The only memory I have is sitting in the green room all day long by myself, waiting on food that finally came like 5 hours too late. Cold McDonald's.
we sat back there for quite a long time too. It was a very, very long day, but had a lot of fun. We taped the Invasion of the Little People, the original one, and it was a lot of fun. I had my hands in putting together a lot of them as well over the years, and so it was fun. So independent movies is your main one of your main things in the acting world. Tell us about some of the independent movies some of the fans can go and look up online and see you on.
Yeah.
Well, I've only done 3 movies. One of them it's called Yoren Utawa Ichijin no Kazeni. It's a Japanese horror anthology.
Oh, I know how to spell that one. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's a Japanese horror anthology film, and I played a producer of a play who the director of the play, he's seeing these ghosts, and me and the other producer, who's actually in real life, he's my sensei and manager, Fugo Yumaki. We're looking at this guy like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Because he's tripping out, he's bugging. But they end up cutting most of the stuff that they filmed of me and my sensei out, and they just show one little clip of us, basically like a background extra. And that's my first experience doing any kind of movie. But before that, I did a short film called One Man Kru versus the Dead that I directed and edited and starred in. And that was actually my really first acting experience. But as far as doing something like where I got a team of people and it's not my project, that Japanese horror film was the first one. Then the second one is called Unspoken Diary of an Assassin, directed by Ron Yuan. I don't know if you have heard of him, but he was in Paper Tigers. He was in live action Disney Mulan. He was in movies and TV shows.
That's cool.
And I did a fight scene with him in a club where I grab him from behind. He stabs me in the leg with a knife, and then he kicks me and shoots me.
Oh, that's very cool.
Unfortunately, the movie never came out. And it was like this guy, it was one of his passion projects, and there's a lot of big stars in it. And we filmed it. It's on IMDb. All the credits are, but the movie never came out. And then the third movie I did recently, a couple years ago, I went down to New Orleans. They flew me down to New Orleans because I produced the soundtrack for it. It's called Off Ramp, and directed by Nathan Tate. And then they filmed a lot. They filmed I got a speaking role in it. They ended up cutting that out and cutting my music out of it, and basically cutting like almost everything they could of me out of it. But I'm still in it. One of the bad guys, he's wearing one of my T-shirts in the film. You can see a poster of me on the main character's wall in his room in the beginning.
Okay.
And I'm still in the movie, but they cut my line out because of stuff stemming from like my beef with Violent J from ICP, because I used to produce music for them.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I never got paid for it, and I never got proper credit for it or none of that stuff. So I had a beef. I don't want to go too much into it, but basically those three movies, Off Ramp, Unspoken Diary of an Assassin, and Yoren Uto wa Ichiji no Kazenyi. Those are the three movies that I did. And as you know, I did a little bit of extra work for Hawaii Five-0.
That's cool. Awesome.
What is the what exactly got you into the movie part of your 3-cycle career, being movies, wrestling, and music?
Well,
what started you in the movie part?
My grandpa, he was a stage actor, and I always wanted to do acting, which is why I became a Mason, a Freemason.
I'm a Freemason, brother.
You are?
Yes. I'm also a Shriner.
Awesome, man. I'm not a Shriner. I'm a 32nd degree Scottish Rite and a nice.
Yeah. Okay, yes, I am too. Good to know you, brother.
Yeah.
I gave you the handshake, but we obviously can't.
Yeah.
My grandpa Carl was a Shriner. My grandpa Carl.
Yeah.
How old's your grandmother?
Grandpa Carl.
No, I'm asking him how old's his grandmother. I didn't know what that means.
Oh, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's an old school Mason code for what lodge are you from?
Oh, okay. I'm from a lodge back in Maine, Saco Lodge.
Oh, okay.
So now, do you have family, wife, kids at home with you?
Me, I have a girlfriend who she's in the living room.
Oh, okay. And how do they feel about having you being pulled 3 different careers? Do they very supportive?
Well,
Is she?
She's supportive in her own way, but she's not really interested in any of it.
Oh, gotcha.
My son, I got a 16-year-old son. He lives in Alabama. He thinks it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm sure your son would. Yeah, at that age, he'd be really excited.
But you don't care about none of this stuff.
I have a nephew, Travis. He loves wrestling. I can't wait to tell him.
My son, he was real into the pro wrestling with me when I was young, and when he was young. But then when he stepped into his adult life, he did it for a very short amount of time, but it just wasn't his avenue, and he went and did his own thing. So stepping into the pro wrestling world, now I understand you were trained by someone rather famous in the pro wrestling world, I heard. Is that true?
Yep, sure is.
And who is it?
Umaga. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was actually originally told another name. I was told you were trained by Ricky Moore. So, yeah, that kind of went 2 different directions, didn't it? Umaga, that's really awesome. I have my
No,
notes completely wrong on that one.
but I did learn a lot from Robert Gibson though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crew, what
It is
what
really
made,
awesome.
what made you decide to become a professional wrestler?
I was watching Bam Bam Bigelow on TV, and I was like, "Man, that guy is awesome. He looks like he's having a blast doing that. I'd love if I have to get a real job someday. I want to be a wrestler. I'd rather be doing that for money. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's what
Right.
the way about it. You know, I was like, man, that looks like a fun job.
You know, go ahead.
What,
I'm sorry, Dennis.
what advice would you give someone that wants to aspire to become a wrestler?
I say this to the young kids now: do not watch AEW.
Okay. Okay.
That is not wrestling.
All right.
That's a big statement.
It's
You know,
not.
Al Snow said the same. Al Snow said the same thing. I saw that on one of his videos, and I believe it was AEW to talk about. And I do apologize in advance in case I'm wrong, but I think he was also one that said the same thing.
I would tell anybody to watch Japanese wrestling from the 90s, 2000s, and even the 80s. And 80s NWA and 80s WWF.
Okay.
Or any regional territory promotion from the 80s.
All right.
Well, here in a few minutes, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. But I want to talk before we go to commercial real quick and just kind of, in a couple, I got a few questions I want to ask in the pro wrestling world. And if you can give me just quick answers, that'd be awesome. But most memorable match?
That I've had or that I've watched?
No, that you've been a part of, when you look back at that was the match of the man. It was the best of the best of your own personal that you were involved in.
Well, there's a couple of them. One is a barbed wire board death match that I had against Takashi Taki in Tokyo. That was probably the peak of my career. And then one I had before that in Iwate, Japan. It was a tag team match. It was me and Jun Kasai versus the great Sasuke and Keisen Numagiro. It was a fluorescent tubes death match. I'm not a death match wrestler, but I just thought that those two matches were the pinnacle of my career. Like,
nice.
Yes.
Okay, now the opposite. The opposite, if you could say the match that you look back at, and, oh gosh, it's the one if I could take away and erase from my history, it would be the one. Who would that be?
Erase from history? Probably the one that I did with this guy. His name was TC Carnage, because he hurt me like really bad. Like I still have problems from it to this day.
Let's see.
I had a match with TC Carnage. I chased him around the ring. He slid in the ring first. I went in behind him. He's supposed to just stomp me, right? Well, he did an elbow drop and he landed right on the back of my head and neck with all of his weight. I mean,
oh damn!
It could have broke my neck. Could have paralyzed me.
Yeah.
I've had neurological issues ever since then.
Sorry, Crew.
Yeah, shit.
Well, and before we go to break, I just want to mention what I found most interesting is that in my research, you've got a lot of memorable matches on your resume, being Too Cold Scorpio, Dan Severn, Madman Pondo. We recently had him on the show. What a fun guy.
I saw one with Butterbean.
Shane Douglas. Actually, when we come back and break, that's the one I'm looking forward to talking to him about. And of course, we got to mention he also even had a great little feud with one of our behind-the-scenes producers, Mr. Slim Tremens. So that's kind of funny as well. But yeah, when we come back and break, I want to talk to you about a recent match that brought up an old feud with the Butterbean.
All right.
Let's talk about Butterbean.
Thanks.
And we're back.
Hey,
All right. You know, one of the biggest reasons I could not wait to have this interview, just being a fan of yours, but also I'm a fan of the great Butterbean, and not all that long ago, I had watched the recent video of his visit to Diamond Dallas Page, and the evolution of Butterbean, as Diamond Dallas Page said, and I was just amazed at how bad a shape he was in coming in, and then to watch you and He's recent match, I just hands down superhero in my book, both of you.
Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna let Shortcuts, since he's been pretty quiet throughout the show, let him have the first question on the you and Butterbean that just recently wrestled on March 1st at the, how do I say that, Linsell World Champion? Is that how you say that? Lineal World Championship match. So
Oh, wow.
Shortcut, what do you got?
Well, yeah, Butterbean's been like one of my favorite. He's like they called him the 4-round king or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was this what kind of match was it? Like, was it a boxing match or a?
It was a wrestling match, pro wrestling.
Okay, all right. I didn't get to watch
But I
it.
did box his son last year.
Oh wow.
oh, okay.
He broke my ribs.
Oh,
Oh wow. Wow.
It's
so
hard.
is he
Ouch.
just as much of a beast as his father?
I'd say, yeah. I'd
Yeah.
say he's pretty. I mean, I felt like I got kicked by a horse. I'm telling you, like.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Now, one of the things that I had noticed in this most recent match was you had a little backheat from him from 10 years ago and decided to book him in a horrible crack neighborhood.
I saw that too. I saw
As
that.
much as I must laugh, that was one of my favorite parts of that whole getting knowledgeable about that match and watching the match. What an incredible match from where he came from again. And so my question on this was, first off, did you really put him in a crack hotel? I mean, come on.
I didn't put him in it, or it's based off. It's based off truth now, but I didn't put him in the crack hotel. That was the booker. All right, so Butterbean and I, we've been friends for about 16 years. We worked together off and on for 16 years.
Okay.
I learned a lot from him. He's learned some things from me. Got a good friendship and good partnership, and in the ring, we were good dance partners. Every match we've ever had has been a great match. And so I told, because I fought his son, I went down there and did that for him because nobody wanted to fight his son. I said, well, I'll fight, because I know I'm going to get paid good money if I go down there and fight. So I went down there and I did that for him. And then I asked him, I said, hey, Bean, can you do me a favor? And like at some point, will you come up and work with me for my documentary? He's like, yeah, I'll help you out. So anybody who knows Butterbean, who has ever booked him, knows he's really expensive. Like he's like anywhere from $5,000 up, depending on what to do. He turned down a $10,000 offer. Like somebody wanted him to wrestle on an independent show. He turned down that $10,000. He turned it down.
Wow.
So when
I'd wrestle for that.
He came for me as a favor. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
I told the booker, I said, hey, look, man, he's coming up here. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. I got it. I'll take care of him on everything. All I need you to do is put him up in a hotel room. So he's like, all right. But before I could even say, like, hey, make sure it's a nice hotel or anything, he was like, all right, I already booked it. And he sent me the itinerary for it. And I looked at the pictures online. It looked like a nice hotel. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I sent him the link. He drives up. He calls me at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the bathroom shaving my body, getting ready for the match tomorrow. He's like, Anthony, I can't stay here. I said, what do you mean, man? He goes, it's a crack hotel. I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He goes, there's fucking crackheads walking around in the parking lot. I do not. There are police here in full riot gear busting this crack dealer. There's a lookout in the window. There's a guy sitting on a car. There's another lookout. And he's like, I just can't stay here. And then as soon as he said that, this cop walks up to me. He's like, sir, can I help you? He's like, yeah, I'm Butterbean. I'm in town for a show. He's like, the real Butterbean? He's like, yeah, the real Butterbean. He's like, well, you shouldn't stay here. You need to go way down the road.
Wow.
I was embarrassed to beat hell, man. I was like, I apologized to him so many times. I was like, we're gonna wring this guy's neck tomorrow. I put the heat off on the other guy because he's the one.
Yeah.
Well, it threw me off a little when I think the promo you did before this match. It was a great little promo, and I expected, like at the beginning, like one of you was going to charge the other one, and they just started with the old school handshake, and that just when I first saw that, I thought, wow, no heel kick, or
well, we were both baby faces, but
well, that explains it then.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
And it was a babyface versus babyface match, and then the heels came down and attacked me for the DQ, and then we teamed up and tagged against them. So
okay,
so that could make sense. So that whole promo was a retroactive thing where we were joking around about the crack hotel, and I was like, hey man, while I was filming this interview for my documentary, I said, hey man, why don't you say something funny about the crack hotel? And he did, and it made me laugh, and I was like, all right, one more thing, look in the camera and say that, since I put you in a crack hotel, you're going to shoot on me. And then he said, and so I texted him like a day or two later. I was like, hey man, I was looking at this video I'm editing about the crack hotel. I said, this is so funny, man. I'm going to make a promo and put it before that and say that I put you in the crack hotel so you lose sleep so I can get one over. And he was like, LOL.
The great promo.
That was
a great promo on both sides. Both sides.
So then
the match, I have to tell you, my friend, sorry for interrupting there. I got to tell you, the match, I kind of went into it with just being out with low expectations because Butterbean's age, and I saw the whole battle he went through with DDP. And I saw he seemed like he was in tremendous shape at the end of that. But I never thought in a million years I'd be able to watch him do a really good match. And all in all, I was really impressed by how well he moved in that ring, even, So kudos. It was a great match to both of you.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
I watched that too, Crew, and it was awesome, dude.
Thank you, guys. He's been training to fight. And then he did that for me. And then he's wrestling Minoru Suzuki at WrestleCon, WrestleMania weekend in Washington. That's a big matchup. So when we were talking about the match, like backstage, I was like, hey man, actually even before that, we were eating at IHOP together, me and him and his wife. And I was like, so you got this match with Minoru Suzuki. And I said, this guy, he wrestles differently than I do and other guys do. I said, I met him when I was in Japan, and that's a whole completely different style. So I'll show you how to do a little bit of that, and we'll do a little bit of that in the ring. He's like, all right, let's do a little bit of it. Not too much though. I was like, don't worry, man, I'll get you acclimated to it a little bit. So that's why you see the forearms and the chops and stuff like that in that match, because I want to kind of get him acclimated to that style of striking.
Very nice. I want to talk to you just briefly also about your music, because we've talked about the acting, now the wrestling, and to move it over into the music a little. What is, like, somebody was going to look you up music, what would you say your genre of music is? Just rap, or
rap?
Is that how you would? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you got to? I mean, where would you find that at? Do you got that like on YouTube or Spotify or?
It's on everything. It's on every platform.
And
iTunes, music.
is it under One Man Kru or
One Man Kru and Keepers of the Crypt? Because I'm in a
Keepers of
group.
the Crypt? Okay.
It's
And
that.
please notice when you're saying crew, it's KRU, everyone.
Yes.
One man, common spelling, crew, KRU.
It's an acronym for Keep Rising Upward.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Dude, I love that. That was actually my very next question. Why the different spelling in crew? And there it is.
Keep rising up.
Answered it
Man.
for fantastic.
That's awesome. Because
Wow, that is
we
awesome.
say, I always say I keep looking up because I have to, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have that on my tombstone. I finally made 6 feet and I'm still looking up.
And did you know that we are the only podcast that is short staffed, but that doesn't mean we're hiring?
Before we get into the music thing, I do want to talk a little bit about the wrestling more, as far as like matches that people might not know about that's not on like the cage match database and stuff like that. I had 2 matches with Bullet Bob Armstrong. They're both on YouTube.
Okay.
And when I wrestled Bullet Bob Armstrong the first time, we didn't talk. We just went in and did it. And he told me, I went and checked on him because I was working for Mike Jackson, who's a really super old school promoter. He puts guys in separate dressing rooms, a heel dressing room and a babyface dressing room. And so me and Bullet Bob Armstrong didn't talk at all. We didn't even see each other until we were in the ring. And and he the only thing we knew was the finish. And when I came to check on him after the match, he was like, "Buddy, that was fantastic." He said, "I didn't even break a sweat." He said, "Whenever I saw you, I was like, man, this kid might hurt me. And then as soon as you locked up with me and I told you to pull my hair and get out, and you got out and worked the crowd, I knew, well, this kid knows something." And he enjoyed working with me so much that he requested for me to be in Georgia the next week and work with him again. And
nice.
That's really awesome.
His son, the Road Dog, was there, who's working for TNA at the time. He wanted him to get a look. And then they sent a DVD to Dutch Mantell, who was one of the higher ups in TNA at the time. They tried to get me a job in TNA, but Jeff Jarrett didn't want me because I didn't have the kind of body type that he was looking for.
That's interesting.
I wrestled Bob Holly when he first
Holly. Wow.
When he first got.
I always heard he was stiff.
Yeah, he's stiff, but he's a really good wrestler. Like we barely talked. He talked to me a little bit beforehand. I went out there. I wasn't sure what I could and couldn't do to him. So my offense was like really weak looking back at it. And he even told me that back then. And looking at it now, I know what I could have done better. But the match was still decent. I mean, there was no mistakes or anything in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a lot of matches. Most of them aren't even on cage match. I wrestled a lot of big name guys, but most of them, most people don't know it though.
Right on. If you were to look back at your entire rap, acting, wrestling career, and I were to ask you who was the biggest influence, who was somebody you really looked up to the most, who would it probably be?
Well, as far as music,
for what reason?
As far as music goes, Dr. Dre was my biggest influence.
All right.
Oh, interesting. All right.
I produce all my own music. I make all the beats. I mix it. I master it. I
wow.
engineer it. I do everything all by myself. And I've worked with quite a few big name artists too. Like I said before, I produced music for ICP. One of the things I produced for them was on their Yum Yums Lure EP. EP is called Bewitching. The track Bewitching is the first song on the album. That whole album debuted #1 on iTunes rap charts.
Wow.
That's awesome. True.
And I've collaborated with like Little White, Bizarre from D12, Twisted, Anybody Killer, Blaze Your Dead Homie. I licensed a lot of verses from like real big name artists like Snoop Dogg and Gucci Mane and Juicy J and Project Pat.
Sweet.
Oh wow.
What made you get into rap?
My Aunt Lisa let me listen to Dr. Dre The Chronic
Okay.
when I was like 9 years old. And I was hooked.
Okay. That's awesome.
And then you had to do it.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I thank you so much for being on here. My very last question, and then we'll let you get back to your busy life, is when 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, when you hang it all up and you look back, what would you want everyone to remember One Man Crew for?
I want people to look at my life and body of work as the guy who took the path less traveled and found another way to be successful other than selling out and kissing ass and having a machine behind me. Because I've been able somehow, some way to make all my dreams come true without going to WWE, without signing with a major label. Like all the things that I wanted to do, I was still able to do them in some way.
That's incredible.
That's great, Crew. I commend you.
Well, I got to tell you, man, when this all began, I think you just gained me the fan in a couple other avenues too as a wrestling. Because getting to sit down over this last week, knowing this interview was coming up and doing a little bit more of the background, the Butterbean story, the whole wrestling story. It's a really fun thing. And I challenge anyone watching today, if you've never seen One Man Crew, both as the rap artist, I take it back, Trey, as the rap artist, actor, or the wrestler, go Google him, find him on YouTube. Throughout this interview, you see his links down at the bottom. Be sure to check him out. Brother, it's been a pleasure. I cannot thank you enough for coming on.
Thank you very much.
My other two, Pappy or Shortcut guys, did you want to wrap up on?
I just want to say thank you, Crew, for taking the time to speak with us. It was a pleasure to meet you in person this way. Well, anyway, this way, but you seem to be a great guy, and thank you for taking the time, man.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys, man.
Thank you for being part of the Little Brew Crew, and we're thankful that you invited the little guys to be part of the One Man Crew. God bless you, buddy, and we'll see you very soon.
God bless.
Hey guys, it's your boy Vinny MG coming at you live. When I'm not torturing or tormenting POD, I'm on here checking out all the cool content that me and my three brothers put up on this platform. Come and check this out. The show is called A Little Bit of Coffee. You can like, share, and subscribe for more content in the future. All right? So don't forget, grab your Joe and let's go.
We're back.
What a great interview.
That was a wonderful interview. I enjoyed it.
Phenomenal.
Great interview.
One Man Crew.
He's
Phoenix
a great guy.
has, finally joined us. He got here late. Had to step out during the interview. What's up, Phoenix?
Hey. That's sad. I had to work, but that was
Gotta pay the
awesome.
bills. That was awesome.
Got to pay the
One
bills.
Man Crew. What a great guy. Very, whenever I've met these independent artists over the years, it just the one thing that bothers me, and I think it's why they don't get that over the top success is, and I think even in the wrestling world we share, is the ego. And I don't like it when I run into the egos. And man, he just didn't have one at all. He was just so
he's
down to
earth.
Very down to earth.
Mhm.
Very down to earth.
Mhm.
He had some really big names he was working with. That was really impressive.
Yeah, I was quite an interview, quite a great time to hang out with him, and I look forward to hopefully eventually having him back on again. Took us forever to pin him down the first time. That guy's a busy guy. But
I get it. Pin him down. I get it.
pin him down. I didn't even get it. What is it? The subliminal joke, and I didn't even know it. No.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's do some top shelf. Phoenix, what you got for us?
Oh man, we've been talking about music, so let's just roll with music. I'd like to personally know if you were going to be in a band,
Good morning, Brady.
What band would you be in, and what would you play and why?
Hmm.
Who first?
I
I'm
would
going to
be-
go with POD.
I was going to be in. Okay, so the question is, if I was going to be in a now band, a band
Yes,
that's
a
already
famous
developed,
band.
you were going to step in and you were going to take over something with the band.
Yep.
It would have to be, and I really hope that he watches every week. But one of my very good friends, Dan and Shirley of Confederate Railroad.
I knew it.
Yeah, you know, I'm into the Christian music, but if I was going to say that I could probably know every song, I would say I'm a good singer, but I'm not a horrible singer, I don't think. And I could sing every song and get through it and fill in. Yeah, probably sing for Confederate Railroad. But I don't know if I could ever take Danny Shirley's spot, man. That
Yeah.
guy. Not only is he my one of my really great friends, but he's the voice of that band. You know, I mean, so for somebody to step in and try to replace that sound, it just I don't think it could be done. But that'd be the only one I could.
Wow.
Happy or up.
What about Pappy?
I would Van Halen. I would love to be part of Van Halen, and I would like to be able to rip like Eddie Van Halen on that guitar. I would love to have that kind of talent. But when I'm feeling like I'm want to get energized or just want to like work out or something like that, Van Halen's my go-to.
Van
Very
Halen
nice.
is definitely a really high energy band. I love Van
Very
Halen.
nice. Very nice. Shortcut. Do you got
I want
something?
real quick. I wanted to jump in
okay.
real quick. Sorry, shortcut, but I want to make sure I said I didn't add an instrument in. If I don't know how to play any instruments, by the way, but if I was going to learn an instrument, I would want to learn the keyboard and still Confederate Railroad, the original Confederate Railroad, the great Chris McDaniels. I just always enjoyed watching him play, and he was a great big reason why I always enjoyed that instrument because he just made it look like so much fun.
I
I
think
do
you should sing
apologize,
solo.
shortcut.
I think you should definitely sing solo.
I know this joke.
Cello.
No,
Hey,
Solo,
I know
nobody
what
can
this
hear
joke.
you.
Shortcut. What
I
would
know what
yours
this
be?
joke is.
Well, Pappy already picked Van Halen. Van Halen was a good one. I'd say Alice in Chains. If I had any
Ooh.
talent whatsoever, I can't sing, can't play guitar, can't do nothing. But if I could be in any band, it would have to be Alice in Chains. They're epic. That
You
I've
sure?
never heard anything like his voice. I mean, the only person that I think that could even match him would be either Eddie Vedder or Soundgarden. What's his name?
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, I know
forgot
who you're
right off the
talking.
top of my head because it's too early in the morning.
I can't think of his name
What is
either.
it?
But yeah.
Black Hole Sun from Soundgarden is like there's no other song like that.
Oh, right, that's awesome.
When the whole grunge scene came out, they made so much music that unequivocal.
So Shortcut would want to snuff the rooster.
Funny.
Got it.
Definitely.
That's like
Jar
that. Well,
of Flies is probably their best album, I think.
heck yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Before I say anything on mine, I wanted to wish an adopted niece happy birthday. And I think we have a banner. She turns a big 18 now.
Oh.
And so she's getting the adulthood and has a level head on her shoulders. And if we could really quickly, could we sing her happy birthday real quick?
Sure.
Is this the right one? Is this the right band?
That's it.
All right, let's sing her happy birthday. You start it.
All right, starting it. That's your job. You're the singer, remember?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. We sound awful. Happy birthday, Erica Forbes.
Happy
birthday to you.
I swear there's no alcohol in our coffee.
My own personal opinion, if I had to listen to that first thing in the morning for my birthday, I'd be like, man, it's going to be a rough day.
I wouldn't answer you.
Happy birthday, Erica.
Well, I'm definitely going to be sending that to her and letting her get a good laugh. So if it was going to be in a band, I would want
Not
to
this one,
train.
huh?
Honestly, I would say Jonathan Davis with Korn.
Oh,
Jonathan Davis.
okay.
Big
Very awesome.
Jonathan Davis fan. Love his voice. He's talented. He does mixes and masters. I mean, he does everything. He's awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
Very talented
Excellent
vocal
choice.
range. There's so much. Yeah, he's definitely a
his soundtrack for Queen of the Dam was just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. It was
Sure.
amazing.
You know. And I know POD doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Not a clue.
Korn.
Not a clue. I'm a, even when I was doing the DJ, it would be so comical. I would get like, for example, I'm not, no disrespect to any heavy metalists or lovers out there, but I'm not real big into heavy metal. I'm not real big into rap. So, when I would go and I DJ these parties, I would always tell them ahead of time, bring me a big list. Jeff, geez, you could have said
I'm
excuse
sorry.
me.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
But
Too much
I would
coffee
go do
for
these
you.
big parties and I just make a list of the music and hit play, and let it play through. Because no, unfortunately, I'm not into that. I'm a country bumpkin and a Christian music guy.
There's nothing wrong with it, but you can't go wrong with the classics.
I hear Jonathan,
No, you
Jonathan
can't.
Davis.
Classic rock.
I hear Jonathan Davis and Eric Clapton are going to get together and make cream corn.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh no, Mr. Google with some jokes.
I don't know.
All right.
So, give everybody a little update. We are missing our Vinny again. He is still under the weather. He, for those that don't understand dwarfing, Vinny has that unique kind of dwarfing where he's got to be very, very careful on his health and catches a cold very easy. He catches everything just super, super easy. So, we're thankful when we do get him in here, and we're thankful to have him when he's available. But in the same token, we don't want him to over push himself to be on here and end up being in worse shape. So, Vinny,
Get
we're
well
all
soon, Vinny. Get well
we're
soon.
all
about you,
wishing
Vinny.
you to get better.
Get
I need
better,
somebody to
Vinny.
pick on here. I need somebody to torment on here, and
Right.
you not being
We're
on
praying for
here.
you,
I tried to make it shortcut. When we would rehearse stuff, and well, he's bigger than me, and he knows how to whoop me. So, well, he's not going to be the guy. So,
Yeah, always got to try to pick on the little guy, huh?
Well, that's all of us.
yes, I do. But yeah, that's where he's been, and we're all wishing him well.
Sure.
Also, I want to make sure we are still a fairly new podcast, and we love hearing ideas. And I get emails throughout the week of, we like this or we like that. Man, don't keep those coming. Keep those coming. If you watch the show after we're off the air and everything, you get, wow, I wish they'd do this or I wish they'd do that. Don't hesitate. Email it to us. You want to appear on the show? If you got something you want to promote, send it to us. We want to hear from you. We would definitely want to hear from you. You got a happy birthday? You want to sing you happy birthday? If you want us to sing you happy birthday, I think you need counseling, and we need to recommend somebody.
Right. You heard how good we are. You heard how good we are.
I'm listening to a tape.
We're listening to a tape. Okay. So,
well, we saw Shortcut last week. I think it was up on the stage. Making it rain. We could do that for a birthday. We could do it.
Please don't show that video ever again.
That was toppers. Actually, that was lucky. That was Shortcut the Irish Nut. Yeah.
And I'd appreciate if we never, ever, ever showed that video ever again.
Well, if you want a private video, send us an email, and I'll make it happen, and Shortcut can make it rain on you.
I had the skills to pay the bills.
Yeah, that's that video is outlawed in about 35 countries.
Oh no.
Anyway, with that being said, what a great show today, guys. I think we should wrap it up and take it home and
wrap it
up, take it home. Again, thank you guys for those of you that have been supporting us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our page. That's the most important thing. We always forget to
Right.
promote that real quick. Like, subscribe, and share. In fact, I even think I got a quick little promotional video where Vinny said that not quite so long. Maybe I don't.
Special
Maybe I
thanks
got
to
rid of
Kim
that.
and Brady for joining in with us. Thank you, guys.
And I want to thank One Man Crew again.
Yes.
Each and every week,
Yes.
we get people that want to do a little promoting of either their company themselves, their wrestling, or whatever. And we are so thankful to have each and every week have somebody come on here. So again, you got somebody unique that does something very unique and want us to interview them, get a hold of us. We look forward to it.
If you
But
want to,
until next time, what?
if you want to sponsor us, we've got billboard space available on POD's forehead.
Yeah.
That was uncalled for. I might not talk to you guys the rest of the day now. With that being said,
Oh, we got 5 minutes.
Let's Pappy give us some final thoughts, and we'll let these guys get to their
All right.
mundane morning.
All right. It's time for my final thoughts. And I was just thinking about the One Man Crew and what a great man he is. Here he is as a great wrestler and renowned career. And you think of what type of career he has, where he's wrestling or beating on other guys and stuff, and then you have an interview like we had today and realize what a great man he is and a kind soul. So my words of wisdom today would be, everything's not what it appears on the exterior. Sometimes things can be appearing as like One Man Crew, a rough, tough individual who's really a kind soul. So don't be quick to judge people when you're in your everyday life. Just think of the people that around you that may be gruff, maybe not so outgoing, but they may be having things going on with them, and then you just need to get to know them, and you find out that inside they're a great person. So just keep your eyes wide open, keep your heart open, and embrace people around you. And until next week, this is Happy with my final thoughts. Thank you.